Who is Alex Belfield? So he's an ex-TV person, worked for BBC. He come away from that. He had a YouTube channel, social media. Used to go on stage with Katie Hopkins. Katie Hopkins, who's she? Katie Hopkins, lover or hater. She says, as did Alex Belfield, what's in my head and yours, but we daren't say. Challenge the narrative. Body positivity, the trans movement and everything else. To just speak truth, facts and science. But it's how you say things quite often. It's how you say things quite often. So, Alex Belfield, he's been locked up in prison. He got a 5.5-year sentence. Katie Hopkins said, and puts it across, that he got a five-year sentence for making videos and going online and having a dig at people. One of them being Jeremy Vine, ex-BBC Radio 2 presenter. Jeremy Vine rounds around on his push bike, his cycle, with his little GoPro or action camera, getting involved in things with traffic and making it very dramatic, like he is some sort of guru of the road and everyone else is a complete knobhead. Yeah, so we had a dig at him. So when he ended up in court, Alex Belfield, I think there were 8 people he was accused of stalking. 4 of them got wrote off. So he actually got sentenced on charges for 4, I believe. There or thereabouts. It was a short while ago now. I don't know exactly. There was emails, videos, letters, online harassment or whatever. A lot of people, when I did the last video on him, called it free speech. Yeah, it's on free speech. The audience was very divided, 50%. 50% thought he was a narcissist, and rightly so. He got prosecuted and got 5.5 years. The other half were sort of on his side. Or maybe on his side, even if they didn't like him. I used to watch his videos, me. You know, he would, again, YouTube, talk about people, high profile, Katie Price and the like, of Page 3 modelling frame, and God knows what else. So he's in 5 Wells prison, serving his 5.5 years. That is Great Britain's last built Supermax prison. I'll tell you what it is. It's super dangerous, super understaffed, and don't work. What you have to understand about new prisons is you get new staff. They can't recruit any staff. So any prison opening now, and for the last, I don't know, 10 years, is going to get inexperienced staff, and it's going to struggle. Yeah, self-harm, suicide, violence, young staff, no life experience, staff whistleblowing. That's a good thing, that. I think there's 3 staff from 5 Wells have spoke to journalists and said what's happening inside. It's happening in most prisons now, even established prisons. As the population gets older, that's prison officers, and retire, less and less experience. The biggest downfall is piss poor management in prisons. But let's move on to Alex Belfield. So 5.5 years he got. A bit more complicated than I'm talking about. Yes, he did make videos. He was high profile online. He travelled the country with Katie Hopkins on stage, like doing road shows, and other people, talking about things, truth, science, facts, biology, things we can't talk about, or like that island hate speech he's trying to shut down. Yeah, no debate on this. We're not debating it. What we say goes. You know, whether it's fantasy or not, challenging the narrative. But what do you think? 5.5 years. You'd have to look at the case. It was quite complex. You know, emails to people. One lad, I believe, was at the point of taking his own life, which is no joke. But I want to compare Alex Belfield to another lad in HMP 5 Wells. Yeah, young man, 30, autistic. So, similar crime, you could say. Similar-ish. He's in for stalking. So what did he do? First of all, he's autistic and he is well on the spectrum. No excuse for anything, that. And his mother will say that. Hopefully, we're going to get his mother on this channel to talk about it. So he got 2 warnings for basically creating accounts and sending messages to people. 3rd warning, he's in court, yeah? There's people turning up reading the impact statements, mourning that he was sentenced. because the impact statements were read twice. They were read to the court and then they were read on the morning of the sentencing. The copper, who was, you know, one of our finest, has actually said, I believe, that when this lad gets out, and I haven't told you what he got sentenced yet, when he gets out, he'll be there to make sure that he's going to be on his case, basically. So this lad, Alex Belfield, 5.5 years, people think that's criminal. This lad, the judge said this in sentencing. This lad, let's show you the boy in a minute. This lad, no violence, not a danger to the public, no sexual element to his stalking, creating accounts. Keyboard warrior, he's a true keyboard warrior, none of that. Yeah, this lad got 7 years. The judge, one of them that likes to grandstand and make an example, 7 years. Rapists and paedophiles get less. County lines drug dealers, if you're not from this country, who deal in other areas of the country, not their own back door. One of them recently taking kids, moving them around the country, young kids, to do his drug dealing, got 7 years. This lad got 7 years. Mother left court distraught. He went guilty. Must have had the shittest, most toss legal team ever. He went guilty and he got 7 years. Now, all the lads I used to lock up would think, wow, that's serious, that. Alex Belfield, 5.5. His case was more complex, more in-depth, and it had been going on for years. Am I not right? On social media, you can just, you know, if someone tries to message me on Instagram, I'm not following them. It's a private message. I can choose, same as Twitter, to ignore that message or accept it. Anyway, the drama doesn't end there. The drama doesn't end there. Because his mum went home absolutely distraught. So he's gone guilty. He's not cost us, the taxpayer, the public, any more money. He's gone guilty, this lad. Yeah, Alex Belfield, Katie Hopkins, 5.5 years, wow. This lad's gone guilty. He's got autism, nothing taken into account for that. Mum gets home, gets a phone call from her son. Mum, I've got 9 years. She's already upset. No, you haven't, son. 7 years, he said. No, Mum. When you'd left the court, he called me back up. He did, the judge. Everyone's left the court. The judge called him back up into the dock. I've made a mistake. I've made a miscalculation. I'm giving you 9 years. 9 fucking years for a young lad who's got autism, went guilty, and he's a keyboard warrior. Not a danger to the public, no threats of violence, and no sexual element. 9 fucking years. I think Alex Belfield can probably thank his lucky stars that he could afford a decent legal team. And he didn't himself get 9 years. Thanks, guys, for your continued support. We're going to do the opening shot, as always. God bless you all. Thanks for coming. Stephen, deaf as a post. I'll see you.